Florida Republican Congressman Michael Waltz is a member of the Armed Services Committee and joins us now. Great to have you here. It wouldn't be hard to believe, right?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
That he's self-isolating in some way, at least, or perhaps that his advisors, his closest advisors, might be misleading him. What is your takeaway from what we're hearing on those intel reports?
Well, it's been unclear from the start what information Putin is actually receiving in terms of progress on the ground. You know, the Russian military is very centralized in its command and control. In fact, there's reporting that they don't even have, a field general in command of the entire operation in Ukraine, that it's all being run from the Russian staff and the chief of staff back in Moscow. I think that points to a lot of their issues, a lot of their struggles, but it also points to the fact that in Russian military culture, no one dares make a decision that deviates from the plan without running it all the way up the chain of command. And if the chain of command is all the way back in Moscow, that explains their lack of flexibility and their lack of ability to react to a stiff Ukrainian resistance.
Yeah. Sir, you just heard our explanation for what we think may have happened with this oil depot across the border in Russia. If that was carried out by a helicopter gunship, imagine what a MiG fighter jet could do on the Russian side of the border. It's astounding. This week, you asked a NATO commander that if the United States is not training Ukrainian forces in Poland, you asked the question, why not? What was the answer you got for that?
Well, the answer we got from the commanding general of NATO is that that's a policy decision, which really was diplomatically saying that that's a decision the White House has to make. But if we're providing the weapons, we need to provide the instruction on how to best use them. And again, we have to stop this false distinction. I think the Biden administration has made the correct policy choice to not put U.S. boots on the ground, to not put U.S. aircraft defending Ukrainian skies, but give the Ukrainians everything they need and the training that they need so that they can go fight and win. So why aren't we providing that training to make them even more effective in the weapon systems that they're providing? And the other piece, Bill, that potential cross-border strike is, we can't overstate the significance of that. And it presents a policy choice, again, for the White House. They've made this distinction between offensive and defensive weapons out of fear of escalation. If Zelensky is in a position to start using the weapons that we're giving, going cross-border into Russia to affect the fight there, does the White House then start pumping the brakes? Because, again, they've let fear of Putin and fear of escalation drive our policy. Let's let Zelensky win.
On that point, there was a moment that struck me yesterday when we had a chance to catch up with Admiral Kirby at the Pentagon. And I asked him, I said, what are the current efforts on the part of President Biden to engage with Vladimir Putin and specifically reach out to the Kremlin? Here was the exchange.
We have tried on numerous occasions in recent days and weeks to reach out to our counterparts, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs equivalent in Russia, in the Russian military, and we've been unsuccessful. They have not been willing to pick up the phone and have a conversation.
What does that tell you?
Well, it's hard to know exactly what it tells us, Sandra, except that they are being reticent to have a conversation with us, maybe because they know what we're going to tell them, because we're going to tell them they got to stop this war.
What does that tell you, that Admiral Kirby at the Pentagon, when they reach out to their counterparts in the Kremlin, they can't reach them? They're not taking their calls.
Yeah, that's incredibly alarming. We need to have those back-channel military-to-military lines open when it comes to any type of nuclear escalation and keeping any misunderstanding underway. But look, Russia's talking to its friends. It's sending its foreign ministry over to China. It sent its foreign minister to India, which I find incredibly disturbing and concerning. So Russia isn't as isolated, I don't believe. I mean, it also has relationships with South Africa, with Brazil, with Pakistan, with other countries around the world. Just because the Europeans and the United States are taking this stand, they still have a lot of back doors that they're reaching out to.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Thank you, sir, for coming in today. Michael Waltz.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.